Some songs on the sound system, could we be gun thing now? Yeah, man. So, people, today we're doing some fitness related content. One of the reasons I got into fitness was through seeing a couple people that would have looked like action figures, that would have looked like a Goku or like a Vegeta, and I was like, wow, a human being can actually look like that. And one of those people was Mr. Doddy Dodson himself. And that was one of the main reasons that I took on the whole endeavor of trying to get my physique a certain way, you know. But in the training, years that have gone by, been able to put on some muscle and what's not. But to show the muscle is a whole another art than the training. So today we're gonna look into a little bit of posing. So we got a professional here, Doddy, that's gonna give me some tips, and hopefully y'all could get some tips as well as when you do get that muscle, how to show it off looking the best. So today we're gonna do a couple tips and bits on posing. Yeah, alright, so I thought I would start by doing showing you a few of my go-to poses, like when I'm trying to show off my shore muscles.
Okay.
Like say the chest and the abs. A few things I do. Sometimes it feels awkward, but to me it's getting muscles to pop.
Listen, if it don't feel awkward, you might not pose it right.
Alright. Alright. So I'm about the shirt.
Yeah, man.
So usually for the abs, I would come and I would cross my arms like this to like flex the chest. And then squeeze the abs.
Right. Alright, so a couple of things to consider when we do any type of posing. We want to make sure we set up ourselves to highlight our strong points and conceal any weaknesses or parts that might not look as aesthetically pleasing. For sure, when you're trying to show your abs, yes, you want to kind of bear down and crunch down so they pop, but you don't want that to change your posture so that you end up rounded, because that makes you look kind of closed off when you want to look open and voluminous and expansive. Yeah.
Oh.
So we have to adopt the technique of breathing out the air, which makes the whole core get tighter and look neater, and then with an elongated torso, once you breathe out all that air, you bear down slightly, but without rounding the back, rounding the spine. Right? So it's a matter of and then all the air come out, and then just a slight crunch down, top down, but without the rounding. So it's almost like you're trying to send your abs down through your pelvis, but without the crunch. Without the actual, because you want to kind of keep your shoulders looking broad. Being aesthetically pleasing, at least as it relates to males, is all about like a V shape in your torso. Yeah. Exactly. So you want your shoulders to be as broad as possible, and your waist to be as neat as possible. Right. So if we end up crunching down like this, and
so when I do this, I kind of take away my width.
You take away your shoulder width for sure, and then you shorten your torso and so on, which then makes the V shape become less prominent. Right. So you want to stay nice and tall. You want to
like an eye.
Yeah, exactly.
See me here pedaling, them won't pop my chain with the meddling, but I'm gonna meddle in. Cool young king full of melanin, genuine but I am about the gelling in. I keep telling them, I didn't come to fit in, I come to stand out. You can't test this, so you better stand down. Feel that you slick, you will get sand down. Rump up a pum, man down. Top class tune, make you run up and down.
Oh, so okay, a proper bodybuilding.
So this one, this way you're really trying to show off the muscle.
Yeah, I'm strong.
Just come out to the gym.
Right.
Kind of way.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see that again.
All right, so we usually just come here and crunch again, and just try to squeeze the biceps as hard as possible.
Okay, so that's step one, squeezing the biceps, because that's what you're inherently trying to show with this shot. But again, you want those lats to peek out from behind. So you don't want to focus so much on crunching the bicep that you kind of lose your lats. You want to open them in the shot as well. See that? So as opposed to just coming here and boom,
and then you want to just leaning back.
Yeah. Okay, so all of that will add to how shapely and impressive you look. So you kind of want to push those shoulder blades out again. It's harder to do it with your arms up, but actually it's not bad at all. So you can see there.
To pop.
Yes, and then I like what you did with the feet. Instead of one leg being forward, a more balanced stance here will probably look better in this shape. And depending on what you care about showing, if you want your legs to be a part of you.
Right.
So I like to spread mine like this. I would flex them too if it's a short pants. And then I will go into it by sweeping up, because that helps me to get the lats open. That opens my shoulder blades for me, boom. And then here, boom.
Okay.
right? And for me, I like that little, you know, it's not a very basic shape. It has
it's
some swag to
dynamic.
it.
Yeah.
But a person will choose what works for their physique and what matches their personality, you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But once you get those lats open,
Mhm.
this is going to be a good shot. If the lats are compact, you kill the shot.
Right. That's gotta be present.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright. So the stage is one thing, which is saying that I'm still contemplating because I kind of like the compliment people give you when you say, man, you know, you should compete, you know. I just keep that going and say, yeah, and they just never do it. Well, maybe. But in general, though, if you just dress nicely and you want to pose without making it seem like a big strong man pose,
Right.
some stuff that we could do.
Yeah, so when it comes to other posing, then it's all about showcasing confidence,
Okay.
which posture does have a role to play in exuding confidence. So again, a tall torso and broad shoulders plays a major role in that. But of course, we're not trying to send our lats all the way out, as you said, like if it's a bodybuilder show in that instance. But we do want to make sure we're not like slouching.
Right.
Now there is a place for broken, if you would, posture in you know, certain types of imagery. So if you're trying to project an urban look or a really relaxed, rugged look, of course you don't have to be like, you know, perfect posture all the time and looking like Superman and that type of thing. You could, you know, throw a little swag, a little lean, a little relaxed aspect to it. But confidence has to come out of that too. So confidence is an attitude thing. There's not necessarily much you can do in terms of your actual tangible body positioning per se.
Yeah.
So in other words, a person can sit down and look confident, a person can stand up and look confident, a person can lean on the wall and look confident.
Yeah.
It's all about the attitude. So you have to kind of create that in your mind, that feeling of, you know,
It's a demeanor.
it's a demeanor. So that feeling of, you know, I'm the man,
Yeah.
and I have myself together.
Yeah.
Nothing really phases
I
me.
think you can tell a lot by a person's posture, it's true.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So if you were doing a photo shoot and it was, you know, casual wear because you trying to get some images for your next track, how you would pose?
Alright.
Don't pose like this. Not too polite. I mean,
So
if you
yeah.
pose like that, it could be like, you know, I'm militant.
Yeah.
You know, like there's a soldier vibe and thing. But if you looking at a track that, let's say, is about, you know, let's say a paradigm shift.
Alright.
How do you post for that?
So for paradigm shift, it's kind of, I want to come across as understanding, and I want to send a message without feeling like if, without the person feeling like if I'm judging you. I want
Right.
to encourage you more so than make you feel scrutinized. So
therefore, the theme there
or
is,
like if I'm preaching too much at you either.
so the theme is endearment. The theme is I have a positive message, but I am not judging you. I want you to know that we can work together to make a space better.
Right.
So certainly then you don't want a vex face or anything
Yeah.
like that. Like how sometimes artists they tend to be one-dimensional. Every shot is like a screw face.
Yeah.
That wouldn't apply to this theme that you have for this track. So you definitely want to have a more endearing feel and a more relatable
my
feel.
hands.
So for example, with something like that, you want something that seems welcoming or inviting. So you might want to keep your hands open and tilted, you know,
Yeah.
slightly upward, but not quizzical, not like
I don't know what's going on.
or I know what's going on, but more like, you know, reaching out to you guys because I have a message that can bring us all together. So things like this, and definitely for shoots like that, if it's photos we get in, you want to be in motion.
Yeah.
Because that tends to translate the message a lot more. If you just stick into a pose and boom, it starts to lose the impact of the message you're trying to sell. So it's better to be in motion. So you might pose like this, a slight smile, a softened expression, not too hard in the eyebrows. You know, very open, welcoming positioning with the body and with the hands. You know, you could do something more casual too. And with the eyes is like, you know, I just want everybody to know that we can all be happy together if we live in a positive way and live in harmony with each other. Maybe a slight smile, but not over smiley.
Yeah,
We're
a big
working.
joyful thing.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
We're working. And highlight what a person feels inside. That's not true at all. right? If you believe it, it tells on camera for sure. For sure.
Alright. I think got some good stuff to work with.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
No problem at all, man.
Appreciate it.
So you're looking forward to seeing some upgraded images?
Yes.
Good.
Yes,
Good.
yes.
Upgraded shots for you to show you off the muscles, as you say.
Definitely.
Don't forget your lats. Don't hunch them.
Okay.
Good.
Thanks for watching, guys. Yeah,
Or do you just want the fantasies? Got to look past the next two.